And good evening, friends, and welcome to a very special edition of Wednesday Night Madness here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is indeed myself, Anthony Florio, sitting in tonight for good old MF Michael Fletcher, who had a last-minute commitment come up on his end. So he will not be joining us tonight, but he will be with us tomorrow night for TXN Sports World. I'm joined by Michael Bullock, and Michael Bullock, we're going to do something very special here. We're gonna start the show this evening with bonus commentary because we are in Game 3 of the NBA Finals with Michael Bullock's Boston Celtics squaring off against the Golden State Warriors, and right now, Celtic fans, it's looking pretty good right now. Celtics currently leading the Golden State Warriors. We are in the fourth quarter, about halfway through the fourth quarter. Yep, and there he is. Michael Bullock's got his lucky gear on, hoping it'll bring him luck, and it's looking good right now. 5:51 remaining in regulation. Celtics leading 107-96, and in another bit of good news, the voice of the NBA on ABC and ESPN, Mike Breen, he is back after a COVID layoff. So along with Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson, and here we go now. Back to action now. Curry being guarded by Tatum. Well, nope, actually by Brown, and I think they called a foul. Curry was being guarded by Jaylen Brown. Ball stays with the Warriors.
Well, it's like you got to try to be aggressive with Steph Curry with the way he's been playing.
Whoa. Nope. Celtics almost forced a turnover, but sloppy handle. Warriors will have 4.1 seconds to shoot.
Yeah, not a lot of time.
No, especially now that they added tenths of a second to the shot clock now. Steve Kerr looking on. All right, they got to do something. Curry heaves it up. No good. Rebound to Tatum. And Tatum takes it out to Smart. Smart gets it back out to Tatum. Tatum slowing it up. Kicks it out. Smart for three. Got it. Marcus Smart with a three.
110-96.
110-96 Celtics. 5 minutes to go in the fourth. 26 points and 9 assists for Jason Tatum on the night. And that's going to be a foul. I think it's going to be on the Celtics. I think it's going to be on Tatum, on Stephen Curry. And there's the three by Marcus Smart.
Boy, Florio, I mean, it was a little scary in that third quarter when the Warriors eventually took the lead, but it seems as though the Celtics were like, you know what, we need to get back to playing our game.
Oh, Thompson. Oh, got it out. And Thompson blocked. But it's going to stay with the Warriors, though. What a block by Jaylen Brown. Bringing the TD Garden faithful to their feet. Look at this block there. But look at this block bullet. Wow.
Boy, you could say it's been a block party tonight for the Celtics defense.
They've had a lot of those in this playoff year. And there's an easy bucket for Steph. 7 blocks on the night for the Celtics to only 4 for the Warriors. 4.5 remaining. 110-98 Boston. Game 3 of the NBA Finals.
Who's going to take the pivotal 2-1 series lead?
Tatum. Puts it up. No good. Loose ball. Oh, we got a major scrum here. And it is Smart who comes away. Well, And I think it's going to stay with the Celtics there. Marcus Smart. And the truth on his feet.
That's the kind of hustle you like. It kind of reminds you of the old days of the Celtics with Larry.
Wait a minute. Steph Curry's down. Steph Curry is grimacing. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Well, he was wincing in pain there a little bit.
But Draymond Green is chirping with the refs. I don't know about you, Flory. I'm kind of getting sick of Draymond Green and his antics.
I think they called a foul on Draymond Green, and yeah, he's had a lot of controversial moments, or as we call them, noggin diva moments.
You saw Celtics fans have been on him tonight,
and rightfully so. I mean, he has a reputation of being a hothead and a bit of a noggin diva.
And he said so many times he doesn't take any of that stuff back.
No, indeed not. He is livid. He's fouled out. He's fouled out of the game.
Draymond's fouled out?
Yep, he's gone. 2 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists.
I was just about to say he better be careful because he could pick himself up a technical foul.
Well,
look at him, he's still chirping.
Yep, he's still out. All right, back down. 4 minutes to go. Tatum.
Now, is Steph Curry still in?
Here's White. Oh, with authority.
Oh, all I can say is team.
Woo. Robert Williams III, 8 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Iguodala kicks it out. 3-pointer on the way, off the rim. And the rebound of the Celtics.
I'll tell you what, Robert Williams may be a wounded animal, but he's giving it his all.
Oh, there's a turnover. And this will be an easy bucket for the Warriors. Nice hustle there by Klay Thompson. Warriors have committed 14 turnovers, Celtics 12 turnovers. And Golden State 19 points off turnovers, the Celtics 15. We'll have the final numbers when we get into our Celtics chat. Tatum can't get it to go. Rebound Curry. Being guarded by Horford.
Curry's out.
Thompson for 3. Off the rim. Rebound Horford. Smart. Off to Brown. Brown being guarded by Thompson. Shot clock winding down. Smart to the bucket and scores. Timeout Warriors. 2:19 to go in the fourth. 114-100. The Boston Celtics. Feasting off the home cooking here. Well, 114-100, 2:19 left. Looking good, B. Looking good.
It's looking good.
They hang on. They hang on. You're halfway to number 18.
Yep.
And of course, Game 4 will be right back at TD Garden on Friday night. And we will have our continuing coverage of that as part of the Cerebral Smack Talk. We'll see if MF will be on for that. But, and a programming note, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock on ESPN, the pivotal Game 5 of the NHL's Eastern Conference Finals, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Rangers Series tied at 2 games apiece. The series shifting back to Madison Square Garden in New York. The winner will take that all important 3-2 lead, as the series will then shift back to Tampa Bay for Game 6 on Saturday. Winner of that game will be within 1 win of a date with the Colorado Avalanche in the Stanley Cup Finals. All right, here we go now. Poole with it. Oh, what a turnover there. What a nice steal. Oh. Man, look at that effort. Who's that? Thies on that? 2 left. Jason Taylor. Brown at the line, hits the first free throw. Brown, Tatum, and Smart, the first trio to each have 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in a finals game since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, and Michael Cooper of the Lakers in '84. How about that elite company?
Oh man, that's some kind of company.
Magic and Kareem, as well as Michael Cooper from those Showtime Laker teams of the '80s. Those legendary Lakers-Celtic finals that we saw 3 times in that decade. 84, 85, and 87. Legendary series, all of them. Ime Udoka. What a first year for him. Cool. Kicks it out, Thompson. No good. Rebound. Warriors 5 of 14 from the field in the fourth quarter. The Celtics 8 of 17. Celtics 2 of 7 from 3. Warriors 1 of 8. And here's the key number. 1 turnover for the Celtics. 6 turnovers by the Warriors. Jump shot, no good.
What a difference with this one.
Big 3. It went off the backboard, so that's going to be an automatic turnover. The Splash Brothers, all they can do is look on.
That's the only thing they can do right now, because it's like the Boston Celtics are on the verge of going up 2-1.
Indeed. Okay.
And I'll tell you what, boy, I mean, those two, the Splash Brothers, they couldn't do anything wrong.
No, indeed not. Curry, they both played out of their minds.
Curry,
minutes ago.
25 points.
Whoop. Nope, stepped out of bounds. Another Warrior turnover. 51.5 seconds. 116-100. Celtics 49% from the field. Warriors 46%. Celtics 47 rebounds. Warriors 30. Look at the points in the paint. That's the difference. 52-26 in favor of the Celtics.
That's how you do it.
22-11 in second chance points in favor of the Celtics as well. And a 15-6 offensive rebound edge as well. Clock stops with 31.4 seconds remaining. They're going to have a tip-off here because it was a jump ball. So they're going to have a tip-off here.
Yep.
Referee's trying to get him in position here.
So the Celtics are going to go up 2-1 with Game 4 set for Friday night.
Right back at TD Garden. Tip to the Celtics. Jumper gets blocked. And that's off of the Warrior player there. That's going to be yet another turnover. Turnovers did the Warriors in here in this fourth quarter.
Yes,
The shot clock, I believe the shot clock is off, and I think they can just hold it out. And that should do it. That should spell good night.
Yep, the Boston Celtics have taken game number 3 of the 2022 NBA Finals, 116-100, 2-1 lead for the Celtics, with game 4 set for Friday night at 9 o'clock, right back at the TD Garden.
And that is and it is now official. Celtics win game 3 by a final of 116-100. They take a 2-1 series lead. Game 4 on Friday night, right back at TD Garden in Boston, 9 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Check your local listings.
And it's so good to have Mike Breen back.
Absolutely. It's great to hear him and his bang and all that. That made him a household name. Not just not just nationally, but also locally with the New York Knicks as well. So,
but for right now, before we recap this, we got a little wrestling to talk about first.
Yes, indeed, we do. So, so that's that. So now, let's get into what we always do here on Wednesday Night Madness. We will get into last night's NXT 2.0, as well as tonight's AEW Dynamite, which, spoiler alert, another exciting and newsworthy show. And then we'll have the belated Ranger Roundup from last night, and I'm going to have some choice words about that. And then we'll close it out with a very happy Celtics chat. I'm glad Bullock has something to be happy about. So with that, let's dive on in. Get into NXT 2.0 last night. The fallout from In Your House that went down last Saturday night on pay-per-view, as well as on Peacock. And where else, Bullock, and how does he say it?
The WWE Network elsewhere around the world? Well, you can't say traditional pay-per-view because it wasn't on there.
I think it might have been. I don't know, but anywho, let's get into the show here. You can mute your mic there, Bullock. So all right, here we go. In the aftermath of NXT In Your House, last night's edition of NXT 2.0 had plenty of questions to answer. Toxic Attraction still has control of NXT 2.0, and no one was clearly set up to challenge Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, and Jacy Jayne. However, the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament was coming to an end, with the winner potentially going after either Toxic Attraction title. Roxanne Perez would challenge Tiffany Stratton in the final for the honor. Alba Fire is also a potential challenger to the NXT Women's Champion, but she would first face a fresh threat of her own in Tatum Paxley. Von Wagner has thrown his way around NXT without care, and Josh Briggs hoped to be the man who could put a stop to his antics. Braun Breaker has put Joe Gacy behind him and needs a fresh challenger. Carmelo Hayes regained the NXT North American Championship from Cameron Grimes. Legado del Fantasma was forced to disband and work for Tony D'Angelo after the group's lost it In Your House. All of this and more defined a show that was ready to push NXT 2.0 forward with a number of fresh angles. And we started it off with a promo segment. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams celebrating. And then it was interrupted by Solo Sikoa. And so, and then Grayson Waller showed up, and Sikoa said, "You know what? Yeah." So, I mean, it was an all right segment. I mean, it was a fine but unexciting opener, given how much action dominated In Your House. This could have been a match to hype up the crowd while following up on that night's momentum. It would have also been fine if this actually set up anything. Hayes versus Sikoa is already the plan, and nothing changed here. Sikoa should have a great match with the A champion, but we'll see what happens. So, with that, let's get into our first action of the night, as it was Von Briggs, or I should say Von Wagner, rather, accompanied by Robert Stone and the beautiful Sophia Cromwell, squaring off against Josh Briggs, along with his tag team partner Brooks Jensen and their beauty Fallon Henley. Winner of the match, 3 minutes and 4 seconds. It was Josh Briggs. Wasn't much of a match here, but the result left an impact. Wagner has dominated the competition for a while and could have been a challenger to Bron Breakker soon, but he fell to a tag team wrestler. Hopefully this means Briggs and Jensen will be on the rise before long. Briggs is a talented big man when he gets the time to perform. Wagner will come for his revenge, and we will hopefully get more of a match then. Then we had Santos Escobar squaring off against Nathan Frazier. And Nathan Frazier wins the match, 11 minutes and 54 seconds. This was a marked improvement over the first match in every way. It helps to have two talented high flyers going at it, but it's even more important to have time and a clear story. It could have been a better match with less distractions, but there was no way it could not go down like that. It was important to show the effect Tony D is already having in breaking down Escobar. It will help the Emperor find his voice as a babyface when he fights back. I'm going to give this about 3 1/4, teetering on 3.5 stars for the effort. So, Michael Bullock, the first relevant thing from NXT 2.0 last night. What a big win for Nathan Frazier as he knocked off the former cruiserweight champion of the world in Santos Escobar.
Yeah, this was definitely a big win for Nathan for getting a win over someone like Escobar. And but yeah, I mean, who knows what bigger and better things could be ahead for Frazier after a win like this, but we'll wait and see. So, what did you give this match, Florio?
3 1/4, 3.5.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. 3 well, so yeah, so there's really nothing more to say, so let's move on.
And we move on to an in-ring segment. NXT champion Bron Breakker cut the promo, and he was ready. He says, "Hey, I'm ready for a new challenger because I put Joe Gacy behind me." And lo and behold, look who ended up showing up to answer the challenge. I got one word for you: Apollo.
Hello.
Whoa. Michael Bullock, what do we think about this? Apollo Crews.
But I don't. Yeah, he's back in NXT, but I don't know if you noticed, Florio. He lost the accent.
Yeah, the Nigerian accent. Yep.
I wonder if he's going back to being the Apollo Crews that we've come to know.
Perhaps he will.
And yeah, and I don't know about you, Florio, but I think that's the right move because, I mean, I understand they wanted to try him as a heel, as this Nigerian king, but it worked in the beginning, but let's be quite honest, Florio, it never really worked.
No.
It never really worked, so maybe turning him maybe is the right, and having him be who he is the right thing, so yeah, so I don't know. I mean, could Apollo be the one to challenge? I don't know, but
very possible.
Yes. There's really nothing more to say, so it's yours, Florio.
Yeah. Apollo Crews made a surprise entrance and established he is back with NXT to rewrite his history on the brand. And these main roster NXT returns have been constantly solid. But this could be the best yet for everyone involved. Crews has been underused for over a year. He had no spot on Monday Night Raw. It seems he will establish a new legacy in NXT 2.0. While it is not clear when he will fight Bron Breakker, it is important Crews spends at least a few months in NXT. He needs to show off how good he can be. But it was a fun return to NXT for Apollo Crews. And yeah, I think he's going to be there for more seasoning as opposed to the guest star roles that we saw with Dolph Ziggler, AJ Styles, and Natalya. But hey, segment of the night. There's no question about that. Very well done. All right. The finals. of the women's breakout tournament, Roxanne Perez squaring off against Tiffany Stratton. Winner of the match in 8 minutes and 48 seconds of on-air time. And the winner of the first ever NXT Women's Breakout Tournament, Roxanne Perez, a.k.a. Roxy. She gets it done. I'll tell you what. I'm going to give this about 3 stars. This was the best Tiffany Stratton ever looked, proving the value of Roxanne Perez in NXT. She is leagues above the brand's other new talent and can help push them to greater heights. She needed to win as the one woman in NXT 2.0 who can help stop Toxic Attraction. The post-match shenanigans kicked off the story of Perez's title match. She will have to choose whether she wants to face the women's champion Mandy Rose or the tag team title holders Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. Either way, she has backup that can make sure she gets a fair fight in the form of not only her good friend Cora Jade, but also it looks like she's made another new friend in Indy Hartwell. So maybe that could give Indy Hartwell something to do now that Persia Parada was let go recently. So, but I'm going to give this a solid 3 stars for the effort, and I'll probably call this the sleeper fight of the night here because you never knew. We didn't really know what to expect because Tiffany Stratton is not the best worker, but Roxy, man, made her look like $1 million last night. So that's all there is to say there. So Michael Bullock, Roxanne Perez, the winner of the first ever women's breakout tournament, 8 minutes and 48 seconds, to the surprise of none of us.
Yeah, this was a 3-star match as well. I mean, yeah, congratulations to Roxanne Perez, or Roxy as you say, and yeah, she got the women's breakout tournament contract from Cora Jade, but unfortunately, her celebration was cut short by Toxic Attraction and basically Mandy Rose giving her a rude welcome, and telling her, if you think you're going to take this title from me, then you got another thing coming. But Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez and obviously Indy Hartwell made sure that Toxic Attraction did not get the last laugh. So I don't know about you, Florio, but here's what I'm thinking. Maybe you have Roxanne Perez be the one to challenge Mandy Rose for the title, because I mean, I still think it's too soon for Cora Jade to challenge, and Indy Hartwell has already faced Mandy Rose, even though it was a title. So maybe have Roxy face Mandy Rose, and then have Indy Hartwell and Cora Jade go after the NXT Women's Tag Team titles. That's how I think it should go. So there's really nothing more for me to say. So Florio, it is yours.
Yeah. Then we had a handicap match. It was supposed to be Kit Wilson and Elton Prince, the former tag team champions, Pretty Deadly. They were supposed to go up against Andre Chase and Bodie Hayward, but Bodie Hayward got taken out before the match by Pretty Deadly. So Andre Chase had to go it alone in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Pretty Deadly won the match 3 minutes and 16 seconds. I mean, Thea Hale tried to get involved, but that really didn't do much of anything. So then we had Alba Fire, a.k.a. Kaylee Ray, squaring off against Tatum Paxley. Alba Fire won the match 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Nothing really to speak of there. And all right. As for the main event, it was scheduled to be It was originally scheduled to be a 2-on-1 handicap match with the North American champion Carmelo Hayes and Grayson Waller squaring off against Solo Sikoa. But then Apollo strikes again. Apollo Crews steps in as Solo Sikoa's tag team partner, and Solo Sikoa and Apollo Crews win the match 13 minutes and 45 seconds. Fight of the night, no question about it. This was 3.5 stars, teetering on 3 3/4 of a star. And this was a showcase match, highlighting what the talent in the ring could do. I mean, there was not much story, but the action was impressive. In particular, the strength of Apollo Crews was on display constantly. It was a nice way to help reintroduce fans to a man who has been barely used on television. He was instantly a bigger star than anyone in the match. Sikoa did not get the pinfall on Mello here, so it's likely the feud still has a while left to go. But Crews kept Waller up in a delayed suplex for a crowd count of 30. Sikoa finally got Mello in the ring alone, pulling him in and running him down. But Waller saved him from a corner hip attack, and Mello rebounded with a cutter off the ropes, and Crews got the hot tag, planted Waller and Mello with suplexes, and landed a standing moonsault. Great matchup here. 3.5, teetering on 3 3/4. No doubt this was the fight of the night for me. So with that, Michael Bullock, welcome back, Apollo Crews. First, he cuts a very good promo with Bron Breakker, and then he teams up with Solo Sikoa and picks up a huge win against Grayson Waller and Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, this was definitely a nice win for Apollo Crews in his first match back at NXT, and yeah, and hopefully, I mean, this could lead to bigger and better things, and hopefully that Solo Sikoa will get that shot at the North American title. So 3.5, 3 3/4 is my rating for this. And as far as the overall thoughts on this edition of NXT 2.0, I can only give this about maybe 5.5. I mean, it did have some good matches, but there were some other things that I thought that pretty much could have been better, or were just left to be desired. So, not going to touch on any of the mishaps. I mean, you already know it, so nothing more to say. Florio, it is yours.
I'm going to be a little more generous. I'm going to give it about 6.5. I mean, it was a solid show. Yes, it was not overly spectacular, but because, we did have quite a few cutouts in this, but, we had 3 very good matches. The main event was the fight of the night. Second best fight, I would give that to Escobar and Frazier, and then round out the top 3 with that women's breakout final with Roxy and Tiffany Stratton. So those were the 3 good matches of the night. And then, of course, that great segment with Bron Breakker and Apollo Crews. So to me, Apollo Crews was the star of the show last night for me. So, yeah, he looked genuinely happy to be there. And, yeah, after getting lost in the shuffle on Monday Night Raw especially, yeah, very happy for him. So, great effort. So 6.5. And now let's get into AEW Dynamite from the Cable Dahmer Arena in Independence, Missouri on TBS. And we started it off with that casino battle royale to determine who would face Jon Moxley in the main event tonight for the right to go to Forbidden Door. The quest to crown an interim AEW World Champion kicked off tonight on Dynamite with a battle royale to determine the competitor who would battle Jon Moxley in the main event. The man to emerge victoriously would then head to the Forbidden Door pay-per-view on June 26th to square off with either Hiroshi Tanahashi or Haruki Goto to crown the new or the interim AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Who left tonight's TBS broadcast with their arms raised in victory, one step closer to the interim ultimate prize in professional wrestling? Find out now with this recap of AEW's flagship show. And it was that battle royale. And the Joker ended up being Andrade El Idolo. And the winner of the match in 25 minutes and 21 seconds, Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly gets the win. The So-So Battle Royale took too long to get started with talent packing the ring before rapid-fire eliminations ensued. once the field thinned, things got better with more room and opportunity to do more, really enhancing the action. Still, it took a bit too long to get to that point before O'Reilly scored the win to continue his recent string of victories and set up what should be a damn good main event against Jon Moxley later in the show, and a damn physical one too. I'll give this about 2.5 to 3 stars for the effort because, as you know, Battle Royals are very tricky to rate. So, but I think 2.5 to 3 is the correct rating for this. So, a lot of great names in there, but Michael Bullock, very surprising winner. I mean, I really wasn't sure who was going to win this, but Kyle O'Reilly, give it up for your former NXT alum. What a big win for him. Probably the biggest win of his career so far.
Yeah, this was definitely a big win for Kyle O'Reilly. I mean, and now he gets to face Jon Moxley, so and that certainly ain't going to be no easy thing for Kyle O'Reilly to become, of course, the interim AEW World Champion. So yeah, there's really nothing more for me to add on to it. So it's yours, Florio.
And then in a couple of news and views bits, JR and Excalibur announced that CM Punk had successful surgery today, but not much new information was known. And then AEW has a brand new championship belt known as the All-Atlantic Championship. And there's going to be an 8-man tournament, and the 4 winners of those matches will meet in a fatal 4-way match at Forbidden Door. 3 AEW guys and 1 guy from New Japan. And the winner of that match will be the first ever AEW All-Atlantic Champion. And we had our first qualifying match. It was Buddy Matthews of the House of Black squaring off against Pac of the Death Triangle. Winner of the match in 10 minutes and 32 seconds. And qualifying for that fatal 4-way match at Forbidden Door for the All-Atlantic Championship, Pac goes through. So Michael Bullock, Pac, the first man to qualify for the 4-way to crown the first ever All-Atlantic Champion, 10 minutes and 32 seconds.
3.25 stars is my rating for this match. I mean, I thought that enough for Pac. I mean, he gets a little bit of retribution on the House of Black after what happened at Double or Nothing. So yeah, Pac moves on to qualify for the Fatal 4-Way. So nothing more to say. Florio, it is yours.
All right. What'd you give it, Bullock? I got a little sidetracked there.
3.25.
Yeah, 3.25 for me as well. Find this hugely competitive match that wowed fans with raw athleticism and extraordinary in-ring content. It saw Pac overcome the challenge of a game Matthews to deliver the Black Arrow for the win. There's certainly an argument to be made that Matthews should not be losing this early into his run, but the House of Black has been so oddly and inconsistently booked that it really is no surprise at this point that they drop these seemingly random matches just enough to prevent them from ever gaining any real momentum. Penta Oscuro will be battling Malachi Black in the opposite side for the newly introduced title, ensuring the feud between the two factions continues. All Ego Ethan Page will be squaring off against Miro, and then there will obviously be a match from New Japan, so to determine the New Japan representative. I'm actually going to give it 3.5 stars, Bullock. That's what I'm going to say on that. So then, for the first time since losing the AEW World Heavyweight Championship to CM Punk at Double or Nothing, Hangman Adam Page went one-on-one with New Japan's David Finlay, one half of the FinJuice tag team. Of course, David's partner, of course, Juice Robinson, former Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Champions. They won those titles over a year ago. And To the surprise of no one, Hangman Adam Page won the match 10 minutes and 22 seconds. But there was more. Trying to find where this was. Well, all right, that was actually a promo segment. All right. Fantastic match. Page and Finlay threw heavy lumber in between the former, selling the knee in the finishing sequence. Page winning was inevitable, but everything that preceded it was excellent. The idea of Hangman Page challenging Kazuchika Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship is extremely appealing. The potential of yet another showdown between Page and Adam Cole to get us there? Not really. Been there, done that, saw the pay-per-view. That was Revolution and watched on Rampage. The Punk situation may have factored in the decision to head in that direction, but there has to be something better to keep the two busy than revisiting a feud that was already overexposed in the first place. But I'm going to give this I'm going to give that 3.25 to 3.5 as well. So not much more to say here. So Michael Bullock back on track after that tough loss to Punk at a Double or Nothing. And you heard him. You heard him at Forbidden Door. He wants the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. Oh, I wish MF was here because MF knows all about that. Because Kazuchika Okada is the man in New Japan right now. He's the biggest star they got right now.
Yeah, you got this match here at Forbidden Door. Oh boy, you got yourself something really good here. So another 3.25, 3.5. I agree with you on that. I mean, nice bounce back win for Adam Hangman Page after losing the title. So yeah, so we'll see how it goes with them. So nothing more to say. It's yours.
And then we had an in-ring segment. Trent Beretta, Roppongi Vice, him and Rocky Romero. They wanted a rematch for the Ring of Honor tag team titles with FTR. And they got interrupted. Oh, did they get interrupted? By another one of the biggest stars in New Japan, Will Ospreay. Again, I wish MF was here because MF could tell you stories upon days about how great Will Ospreay is. His arrival was a stunner, and his status as one of the world's most renowned professional wrestlers undeniable. Crowd popped for his debut, but the overall reaction felt somewhat disappointing. Perhaps that can be attributed to poor miking of the crowd, but maybe the issue is the lack of familiarity on the part of the audience with the current New Japan product. But whatever the case may be, Ospreay's appearance is a big deal, and whatever he takes part in come Forbidden Door will absolutely be one of the most noteworthy segments or matches on that pay-per-view. So, wow. All right. Then we had, and then there was an interview segment with Wardlow, and nothing really to speak of there. And then from there, we had an AEW women's title matchup. The champion Thunder Rosa defending against Marina Shafir. Winner of the match in 8 minutes and 15 seconds, and still the AEW Women's World Champion, Thunder Rosa. And then Toni Storm came in to save Rosa from an attack, from a post-match attack at the hands of Marina Shafir. I'll say it like this. It was a vast improvement for Shafir over her previous title opportunity against Jade Cargill, but it's clear that she's still in need of those high-profile reps. Yes, she trained in NXT and has appeared in indie matches and AEW dark matches, but she needs the opportunity to compete regularly in front of TV cameras and fans to really build confidence and a connection with the audience. She was solid in this outing, showed flashes of potential, but it was clear there was considerable distance between her and Rosa's in-ring abilities at this point. The tease for Storm versus Rosa was great. It's a dream match for many fans and the sort of babyface match we have not gotten nearly enough from the AEW women's division over the years. But I'll give this 2.5 to 2.75 of a star. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, Thunder Rosa, successful title defense, no surprise. But it looks like Toni Storm. Oh, what a match that could be.
Yeah, what a match that could be. I mean, Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa, I mean, definitely sign me up for it, but we'll wait and see how they build this one up. But I'm with you, 2.5 to 2 3/4 on this one. I mean, it was a fine match. I mean, could have been better, absolutely. But there's really nothing more to say, so let's move on.
And then we move on to the main event of the evening, which was that eliminator qualifying match. Kyle O'Reilly, after winning the Casino Battle Royale, earned himself a showdown with Jon Moxley. Winner of the match, 14 minutes and 32 seconds, Jon Moxley, as Justin Roberts so eloquently puts it. So Michael Bullock, one down and one more to go for Jon Moxley. One win away from becoming a two-time AEW, the first ever two-time AEW World Champion.
Yeah, I mean, he could definitely make history, but he's got one more to go. So I'm going to give this about 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. I mean, this was a solid main event here. I mean, I love the work between these guys, but yeah, now Moxley is definitely one win away from becoming a two-time AEW World Champion. So we'll wait and see how it goes. So it's yours, Florio.
Yeah, 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. The punishing physical battle between double tough opponents featured some extraordinary hard-hitting strikes and quality reversals. And from the moment it was revealed that O'Reilly would be going against Moxley, fans knew to expect a certain level of physicality, and this one delivered. The only issue is with the convoluted setup of the interim AEW title scenario. I mean, they beat the ever-loving hell out of each other. The former suffering what appeared to be a potentially broken nose. They were not fighting for the title, though, just the opportunity to fight one of two guys that don't work there, have no history with the promotion, nor have ever wrestled a single match in a Tony Khan-owned ring. But in trying to find a solution for the curveball that is Punk's injury, Tony Khan and the rest of management overthought the entire ordeal rather than just letting the company's top stars battle it out for the interim title. Sure, Moxley versus Tanahashi or Goto is going to be awesome, but sometimes a dream match on paper is not a logical and sensible solution. One other small issue, the overpacked nature of Dynamite over the last couple of weeks, which has forced rushed main events. Moxley and O'Reilly is a fantastic match, both on paper and in execution. It deserved more than the time it got, and a significant commercial break right in the middle of it. But I'm going to call it 3.5 stars to 3 3/4. Overall, I would probably give this about 7.5 to 8, to be honest with you. I mean, another great show, another newsworthy show. I mean, some more surprise appearances. Of course, the big surprise, obviously, Will Ospreay, one of the biggest stars in New Japan. Hangman calling out the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, for an IWGP heavyweight title match at Forbidden Door. And a lot of great matches in between, another red hot crowd. And next week at the University of St. Louis, another big show. The Road Rager, Chris Jericho and Ortiz, hair versus hair. And how about a three tag team ladder match with Jurassic Express, the Hardy Boys or the Hardys, and the Young Bucks. If that doesn't steal the damn show, I don't know what the hell will. It's certainly not going to be Wardlow beating up 20 Gestapo security guards. That's for damn sure. So, but it should be hella fun though. So 7.5 to 8 for me. Michael Bullock, your thoughts, and then I'll get into the belated Ranger Roundup, and you best believe I'm going to have some choice words for that.
Yeah, 7.5 to 8 for me. I mean, this was a good edition of AEW Dynamite. I mean, yeah, I mean, hopefully leads to a lot of good things that's going to come next. Yeah, there's nothing more to say. So, with that being said, Florida, well, to the bad part first. The Ranger Roundup, where they lose Game 4 and now face a pivotal Game 5. So, I give it to you, Florio.
Yeah, let's get this out of the way here. Tuesday night, it was Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. New York Rangers squaring off against the Tampa Bay Lightning at Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. And not much to say except as we get into the numbers here, 2:38 into the game, Patrick Maroon with his third of the playoffs from Bogosian and Belmar made it 1-0 Tampa Bay. And then at 13:07 of the second period, Nikita Kucherov with his seventh of the playoffs, assisted by Andre Palat and Ruda. That made it 2-0 Tampa Bay. 4:56 into the third, Steven Stamkos, his seventh from Andre Palat and Ruda again. 3-0 Tampa Bay. Rangers finally got on the board at 16:27 of the third. Artemi Panarin, his sixth from Frank Vetrano and Chris Kreider. Power play goal, cut it to 3-1. Rangers went on a major scrum late, but it was too little too late. And then Andre Palat, empty net goal at 19:51. And at the end of the night, the Tampa Bay Lightning evened the Eastern Conference Finals. They defeat the New York Rangers by a final score of 4-1. Series now tied at 2 games apiece. And the series now shifts back to Madison Square Garden later tonight, 8 p.m., Madison Square Garden for the pivotal Game 5. And I mean, I don't know what else there is to say except an absolutely putrid performance by the New York Rangers, to say the absolute least. I mean, very disappointing. I mean, after that tough luck loss in Game 3 when they had everything, damn near everything going their way, then it all went down the tubes, as the old saying goes, and yeah. So 3 stars of the game. Jan Ruda, number 3 star of the game. Number 2 star was Andre Palat, and the number 1 star was Andrei Vasilevskiy, and rightfully so. And quickly get into the numbers here. Just a horrific performance, and it was damn near a dud, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. And it's not the time to be throwing up duds in especially in this round of the playoffs. I mean, you could get away with it in the early round, but not at this time. I mean, let's find it here. All right. Already addressed the numbers there, so let's get into the players of the game here. First off, for the Tampa Bay Lightning, it was Andrei Vasilevskiy with 34 saves on 35 shots. And Andre Palat, a goal, 2 assists, 3 hits on the night. Steven Stamkos, Nikita Kucherov. Cirelli played well, had a couple hits, a block and a takeaway. Patrick Maroon, a goal and 3 hits. Eric Cernak, 5 blocks and 4 hits. Great night for him. Ryan McDonough, the former Ranger, 3 blocks, 3 hits. A couple hits for Ruda, a couple hits and a block for Sergachev. And Bogosian had a couple hits and a block. He also had an assist. Ruda also had 2 assists. So nice night for him. And that's all she wrote for them. For the Rangers, Shesterkin, 27 saves, 30 shots. Not bad. Mika Zibanejad won 13 faceoffs. Nice night for him. Vetrano had 5 hits. Kreider, 5 hits and an assist. Kreider, 4 hits and an assist. Also had a takeaway. Lafreniere had 4 hits. Nice night for him. Ma had a couple of hits. Rooney had a couple of hits and a takeaway. Keandre Miller, 3 hits and 3 blocks. Justin Braun, 5 hits and a block. And Trouba, 2 hits and a block. Thankfully, he didn't commit any penalties. That's the good news. That's the only thing he did right in that game after he let us down big time in Game 3 Sunday. So, horrific performance, to say the very least. And, very disappointed, to say the very least. And now is the time, in the immortal words of Edge, we got to wake up. We have to wake up big time. And I can't think of a better place to do it than in our house at Madison Square Garden tomorrow night for pivotal Game 5. Rangers have won 8 in a row in the Garden, 8-1 at home. Hopefully we can keep that hot streak going and take back control of the series. And hopefully we can be set up for a prime position on Friday night, or I should say on Saturday night, rather, for game number 6. So winner of the game tomorrow night will take the all-important 3-2 series lead back to Tampa Bay for Game 6 on Saturday night. So we'll wait and see what happens. So a huge game, to say the very least. And I'm hopeful that the Rangers will wake up and hopefully they'll limit the penalties. Hopefully they'll play like they had in the Garden for the last 8 games. So see what happens with that. And not much more to say here. So with that, one last order of business, and that is the Celtics chat. And I'm glad it's not going to be like Monday night when we had a double moment of shame. I'm glad we're going to have at least we're going to have something happy to talk about here. Game 3 of the NBA Finals, the series shifting to TD Garden in Boston on ABC. The voice of the NBA, Mike Breen, along with Jeff Van Gundy, back from their COVID leave. And it obviously must have worked out because Jaylen Brown scored 27 points. Jason Tatum added 26, and the Boston Celtics beat back another third quarter onslaught by the Golden State Warriors. I do apologize for that. Pop-up video. All right. Okay, video muted. All right. Jaylen Brown scored 27 points. Jason Tatum added 26, and the Boston Celtics beat back another third quarter onslaught by the Golden State Warriors in a 116-100 victory tonight that gave them a 2-1 lead in the NBA Finals. Marcus Smart added 24 points and helped lead a defensive effort that held the Warriors to 11 points in the fourth quarter. Stephen Curry led Golden State with 31 points and 6 threes, had 15 points in a 33-25 third quarter by the Warriors, but was hurt late in the fourth after Al Horford rolled into his leg on a loose ball. It was similar to a play during the regular season in which Marcus Smart dove into Curry's legs while chasing a loose ball. Klay Thompson broke out of a final slump and finished with 25 points and 5 threes of his own, but the Warriors shooting couldn't save them on a night the more athletic Celtics outmuscled them for a 47-31 rebounding advantage. Game 4 Friday in Boston. The previous 39 times teams have split the first 2 games of the finals. And here's some good news for you, Bullock. The winner of Game 3 went on to win the series 82% of the time. So that's definitely something to think about before I give it to you. Go down the box score here for the Celtics. Jason Tatum, 26 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. Jaylen Brown, 27 points, had 9 rebounds and 5 assists. Tatum, 26 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. Al Horford, 11 points, 8 rebounds. Robert Williams III, 8 points, 10 rebounds, 4 blocks, 3 steals. What a night for Robert Williams III. Marcus Smart, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Grant Williams off the bench, 10 points, 5 rebounds. Derek White, 7 points off the bench. Peyton Pritchard, 3 points off the bench. For the Golden State Warriors, of course, it was Stephen Curry, 31 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Klay Thompson, 25 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Andrew Wiggins, 18 points and 7 rebounds. Draymond Green, only 2 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. He fouled out of the game. Kevon Looney, 6 points, 7 rebounds. Jordan Poole, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists off the bench. Otto Porter Jr., 6 points, 4 assists off the bench. And that's that. And now to the team numbers. Boston Celtics, 43 of 89 from the field for 48.3% from the field, a field goal percentage of 48.3. Golden State, 36 of 78, 46.2% from the field. Golden State, 15 of 40 from three for 37.5% from three. Celtics, 13 of 35 for 37.1%. The free throws, Golden State, 13 of 15, 86.7% from the free throw line. Boston, 17 of 24 from the line, 70.8%. Big difference here was the rebounding. Offensive rebounds, Boston 15, Golden State 6. Defensive rebounds, Boston 32, Golden State 25. 47-31, the overall rebounding edge to Boston. Boston also had more assists. They had 28 assists. Golden State had 22. Each team had 7 steals. Celtics had 7 blocks. Warriors had 5. Warriors committed 17 turnovers, including like 8 or 9 in the fourth quarter. That was the big difference. Only 12 for the Celtics. 19-17, the points off turnovers in favor of the Celtics. 18-4, Golden State over Boston in fast break points, but the points in the paint, 52-26 in favor of Boston. The Warriors committed 23 fouls, Celtics only 17, but one of those 17 fouls was a flagrant foul by the Boston Celtics. The Warriors' largest lead of the night was 2. The Celtics' biggest lead, 18. 116-100, the Boston Celtics win Game 3 of the NBA Finals, lead the series 2-1. Game 4, Friday night, right back at TD Garden in Boston. Michael Bullock, halfway, 2 down and 2 to go, halfway home to banner number 18. How you doing?
Well, as the old saying goes, Florio, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done because, I mean, the Splash Brothers, I mean, they came to play, but so did the Celtics. I mean, they did a much better job inside the paint this time around. I mean, and they played good defensively with all those block shots. And, yeah, that third quarter, I mean, when Golden State went on that run, they took the lead eventually, but late in that third quarter and then the fourth, they just started to pull away. And yeah, a lot of guys stepped up. From obviously that trio of Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Marcus Smart with what they were able to do. But Al Horford had a much better game. Yeah, Robert Williams III, Time Lord had himself a good game as well. So yeah, I mean, a nice win for them. And like you said, Game 4 will be Friday night at the TD Garden, 9 o'clock Eastern on ABC. And as you said, Florio, check your local listings for the station in your area. So 2 wins away from banner number 18. I mean, it's exciting, but there's still plenty of work left to be done. So that being said, Florio, let's put a bow on this night.
Indeed, we will. And that will put the bow on this very special and exciting edition of Wednesday Night Madness. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. We'll be back with you tomorrow night, about 10:30 or so for TXN Sports World. Got quite a bit of stuff to cover here. We're going to open the show. I promised Michael Bullock I was going to give him a platform tomorrow night because we got a lot of firings to discuss. Most notably, Bruce Cassidy fired as the head coach of the Boston Bruins. And I know Michael Bullock has some very choice words about that. And we're going to open the show with that. We also a couple of firings in baseball. Joe Girardi fired as the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. Joe Madden fired as the manager of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Drew Brees out at NBC after only 1 year. And then two later notes. So we will acknowledge the retirement of Ryan Fitzpatrick. He announced his retirement. And then in the main event, it will be, regardless of what happens, it will be the Game 5 edition of the Ranger Roundup with myself and MF as we will recap Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals with the New York Rangers and the Tampa Bay Lightning series now back in Madison Square Garden. winner to take the 3-2 lead back to Tampa for Game 6 on Saturday night. So see what happens with that. So that'll be tomorrow. And then Friday, 11 p.m., Cerebral Smack Talk. We'll see if MF will be with us for that. I know MF will be on tomorrow. Hopefully he'll be on Friday as well. We'll have Friday Night SmackDown. We'll have AEW Rampage. And we will also have, time permitting, we might have more bonus commentary for Game 4 of the NBA Finals with the Warriors and the Celtics. But there will be a Celtics chat, and that will close it out. Game 4 edition. We'll either be talking about the Golden State Warriors evening the series at 2 games apiece, or could we possibly be talking about the Boston Celtics possibly going up 3-1? If that happens, you're gonna have to hold Bullock back, and I mean that in a good way. So, but anywho, that will put the bow on this. So until tomorrow night for TXN Sports World, Anthony Florio here for the Phenom Michael Bullock, and in spirit, good old MF Michael Fletcher, and the First Lady Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw the Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Thursday. And until tomorrow night, for TXN Sports World, you've been watching the special edition of Wednesday Night Madness right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. Remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio. So long. Bye, everybody. Bye.